to bed?
No, you go on up. I won't disturb you. I'll go in Rotherham.
Glenn...
You don't think I'm sharing a bed with you?
All right. If you want to bore me out, let's do it and get it over with, but I'm just
You'd like that, wouldn't you? A flaming grate round me, screaming and carrying on. Then let's kiss and make up, forget all about it.
Makes more sense than this.
I'm finding that hard to do. Make sense of anything. I loved you.
Do you think I didn't feel the same? Why do you think I'm still here? Now listen to me. It's over. It happened and I'm sorry, but it's over. You've got to accept that or we don't stand a chance. We're still together, Glenn. Everything else we can handle.
You might be able to.
All right. It'll take time. I didn't expect you to understand all at once.
Then why tell me? You said that nothing went on between you, nothing important. So why tell me after all this time?
Because you're my wife. I want things straight. No more lying.
Or because of Trina, or Mum or Dad, or anybody else who knew.
No.
You knew I'd find out in the end, so you thought you'd get your story in first.
That's not true, Glenn.
The funny thing is, I wouldn't have believed it. Not really. Even when Trina... I wouldn't have believed it from anybody but you. You could have saved yourself a lot of trouble. I'm going now.
Glenn...
We'll talk about it tomorrow, eh?
Brandy without you?
No, thanks. I want to be able to drive home to Chimneys and get to bed. Oh, it's been a hard day for someone who's not just come back from holiday like you two.
Your turn soon. Barbara?
No, thanks. I don't know, I never feel quite off-duty bibbing in here. I'll be glad when the old office has been turned into our sitting room.
Yeah. So, where will you spend your holiday?
In a caravan.
And where will the caravan be spending it?
In Cornwall. Whole fortnight.
On duty all day, looking after Sarah Jane.
Make a pleasant change from looking after you. I wonder if I managed to see Kate Hamilton before I leave. Well, I mean, when Paul Ross took the message from our solicitor, he didn't say anything about when she would be arriving.
Unfortunately, if she arrives in the afternoon, I can't be here to meet her. I have to go to Birmingham, talk to the accountants about the garage deal.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help either. I mean, I've got so many arrangements to make for Sarah Jane and myself.
Darling, I have to go to London about my new book and stay overnight. In any case, I'd be a stranger to Mrs. Hamilton. I mean, it's a personal invitation from the two of you to stay here until the inquest has been settled. So I really feel that one of you should be here. Or get hold of her solicitor and tell him to suggest that she should come in the morning or something.
No. I'll arrange to be here. I'll put the accountants off.
And if Paul Ross isn't lying about the telephone calls from J. Henry, there'll be a storm about that. I mean, he's expecting a reply urgently.
I'll put off the accountants, Paul Ross and J. Henry, and be here to meet Kate Hamilton when she arrives. And that's that.
I tell you, there's something wrong.
Come on, you two, it's past 8.
You know she spent last night in the spare, don't you?
Are you listening?
Well, perhaps she couldn't sleep, and she didn't want to disturb him. Or perhaps they had a tiff.
Oh, no, I'd have heard. They didn't make a sound after they came upstairs.
Oh, had you ear to the wall, did you?
No, of course I didn't. What did you take me for?
Oh, heck. No wonder kids hate living with their in-laws. Not a bit of privacy. We can't even have a...
Shh. I'm coming down. Oh, there you are, love. Breakfast all ready.
Nothing cooked, Mum. Just toast, please.
Oh, what's the matter? Not feeling up to scratch?
No, I overslept. That's what's the matter. Do with a cup of tea, though.
Right. Where's my bacon and eggs, then?
Well, glad to see you haven't lost your appetite, anyway.
Tomorrow, isn't it? You start with Dobson?
Ah, that's right. 9 o'clock on the dot. Office hours first morning.
What are you up to today, then?
Celebrating his last day of freedom.
No, I thought I'd take a trip over to Heathbury, have a look at that car I saw advertised. It's time we had our own transport.
Well, Dobson will provide a van, surely.
Use of. Can hardly take Glenn out in that, can I?
Seems a bit of an unnecessary expense lashing out on a car when you're both saving. But you can always borrow mine if you want a night out.
This is a snip. It's too good to miss.
There you are, there.
Right, yeah, that was great.
You'll be doing this next week, my girl. I'm not getting up at 6 to get your husband's breakfast when he goes to work.
He'll be lucky. Be cornflakes or nothing.
She loves me, really.
Yeah, I think I'll go now. If I'm lucky, I'll get the 8:20.
Oh, no, love, no. Stay and have something to eat. It's not that late. Your dad'll drop us off, won't you, Arthur?
Oh, yes, of course I will.
No, I want to go in early. There's a lot to do with the special booking for lunch. I'll see you.
Right. What's going on, then?
Eh?
You know what I'm talking about, you and Glenda. She spent last night in Ron's old room, didn't she? So what's going on?
Kath.
Well, that girl looked like death this morning. You said so yourself.
Yeah, well, it's none of our business. They've had a row. Leave them to sort it out.
No, Mum's right. You better know. I told her last night about me and Carol. After what Mac and Trina had said, I thought it was better out in the open. So I told her the truth.
So are you going into the village?
I might at a push.
You do us a favour.
Oh, you can be so demanding.
Pound a minced tin of tomatoes and some garlic.
I see. Back to the famous bolognese, are we?
Yeah, there'll be no stopping me, love. I would go myself, but if I'm so much as 3 minutes late back from lunch, I might run into Mr. Paul looking at his stopwatch.
Oh, come on.
I'll tell you, you were right, he's pathetic. Goose-stepping around in that uniform full of continental charm. I must have been out of my tiny mind, you know that. I mean, you've only got to look at him, haven't you? I mean, if you cut him in half, he'd have phony written all the way through. And I've never gone for that, Sharon. Never in my life. I like things real. Oh, well, we all have our little lapses, I suppose.
Yeah, well, don't be too hard on yourself. You made my heart miss the odd beat.
Yeah. But has he ignored you ever since? Tell me that.
No, but...
Well, he has me. No, that's not strictly true. Ignoring I could cope with, that's fine. Undermining, that's the latest thing. Every little thing I do is open to criticism, did you know? I breathe out too loud. Did you know that? My hair's a mess, and I move with all the grace of a duck.
I'll buy that.
I fidget, that's the very latest, and I rattle me plates on the coal trolley. God knows what the penalty for that is. He's a right twit. Trouble is, I've got to stand and look at him all day.
Did it mean that much?
No. No, he meant nothing at all. But why couldn't I see? I mean, why did I let it happen? Why couldn't I see it for what it was? I mean, I didn't need it, did I? Oh, well. You live and learn, I suppose. I just wish I didn't have to work with him.
But is that a must?
Yeah, afraid so. You know what he's going to do now, don't you? He's going to make life so difficult for me that I'll tell him to stuff it. Well, I won't. I won't give him the pleasure. I'll turn the other cheek. I've been here a long time. I'll see that one off. Trouble is, it'll be hell while it lasts.
Have a word with the management now.
Oh, sure. Excuse me, Mr. Hunter. I went away for the weekend with the restaurant manager and he's turned nasty.
What about Jill, no?
No. No, I shall just suffer in silence.
I've noticed.
Well, comparative silence, anyway. Men. Who needs them?
Me, for one. And what's more, I'm just about straight lucky.
Oh, yeah?
Ashley's coming home.
When?
Any minute.
Well, I suppose that's tonight, huh?
Tonight, love.
You and me curled up on the sofa watching the telly with a big box of chocolates.
I'll take a rain check on that, sweetheart. You are on your own.
Yes, quite convenient. Thank you for letting me know.
Our solicitor.
Relaying information from Kate.
I've had a bright idea.
I have just had a phone call. Kate is arriving this afternoon.
Oh, good. But is this the right place?
What?
Well, look, I'm going away on holiday, so Chimneys will be empty, won't it?
And you think Mrs. Hamilton would prefer to stay there?
Yes, I do.
Oh, yes, you could be right. Actually, I agree with you. I mean, when we tried to track her down at various different hotels, we all thought that she might have taken a lonely room somewhere to think through her problems. So, surely, rather than a chalet here in this crowded place, she would prefer Chimneys. She can have a little solitude there.
Quite.
Yes, but on the other hand, here she'll be surrounded by friends, and she'll need that. Also, they won't have to bother about the routine things. I mean, the cleaning, the cooking, shopping.
She loves cooking.
And she cooks well?
Oh, brilliantly.
You mean that when she worked here all those years ago, she cooked in her own quarters?
Well, no, not
No,
exactly.
I told Jill about her cooking. I sampled it with pleasure when we shared a cottage.
Shared a cottage, you and she?
Well, not exactly shared. I mean, this was when...
Well, this was when she was my housekeeper at the cottage. Much the same way that you were once Lloyd Monroe's housekeeper. At the same cottage, by the way.
Oh, I see.
So you'll leave it up to her to decide?
Yes. Take your pick.
That's big of you.
The beaver looks tasty.
Front brakes, rear brakes, bearings.
That'll keep you busy till knocking off time without killing yourself. Come on.
Oh, I'm not bothered. I'm not going anywhere.
Hello there.
Hi, stranger.
So this is where it all happens, is it? This is the hive of industry.
Don't let this fool you, mate. We're going to have a bit of an onslaught on this backlog any minute.
Good to hear it. How you keeping, Hanson?
Well, not so dusty.
What about you, Mac?
Okay. I'll take the Viva. Give the gearbox to Nobby, okay?
Okay, first come, first serve.
Oh, how's the wife and kids, Mac?
I guess they're all right.
Take no notice.
Yeah, well, he's never got a bomb on the any road.
That's nothing to do with it. She's gone, you see.
You what?
Trina. Up and left him, taking the kid with her.
Oh, terrific. So I dropped my foot straight in it. Oh, when did all this happen, then?
A couple of days ago.
Poor old man. What is it, on the cards, was it?
Out of the blue. Really broke up about it, yeah.
Shh. Funny old world, isn't it, eh?
There is.
Hello, you. And where have you been all my life, then?
Change that desk waiting. Isn't that right, Sydney?
24 hours a day.
So how come you broke loose just before I arrived, then?
Just nipped out for those. Disappointed?
I'm heartbroken.
And am I forgiven?
I should have to think about it.
I'll go and get Nobby on this gearbox.
You do that, Sid. Oh, and Sid,
What?
no need to bolt it.
Yeah, well, don't blow a gasket.
I've been thinking about that one for a long, long time.
Up to expectations.
Way above.
Good. Oh, you look great.
Oh, real great. How about you?
Harassed.
Oh, come on, can't have that.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, well, now I'm back. Take things easy, all right?
I'll do my best. Listen, how long you home for?
Oh, a few days.
Remission for good behaviour.
Some way of putting it.
Oh, baby.
I missed you.
Me too.
I needed you.
Oh, that's nice.
I needed you one hell of a lot.
Kate. Kate?
Hello, David.
Come on. Where's your luggage?
In the car.
Matt?
Yes.
Would you have someone put Mrs. Hamilton's luggage into Chalet 22, please?
Yes. Should I register?
No, you're my guest. It's, through here. Diane will be joining us soon for tea. She's very eager to meet you again.
Diane?
You remember Diane?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. It's all changed. It's very different.
The fire?
Oh, yes, it's not the same office, of course.
Oh, do sit down, Kate.
In a moment. Thank you.
No.
Is Jill here?
She will be. Tomorrow. Will you ask Diane to bring tea for 3, please?
Oh, hello. I thought you might have waited. I looked for you in the staff room.
No, I decided to walk for a change. Had a bit of a headache.
Yeah, the girls said you left early. Glenn, love.
What's for supper, Mama? I've done the potatoes.
Look, forget about supper for a minute. I leave it. I want to have a little chat with you before the men come home. I know all about it, Glenn. Kevin told us this morning.
Can't keep his mouth shut about anything, can he?
Come and sit down, love.
Look, Mum, there's no point. I don't want to talk about it. Anyway, there's not much to talk about, is there? You've known all along, you and Dad. That's what I find the hardest to understand.
Look, just give me a chance to explain, eh? All right, yes, we have known right from the start.
So why didn't I? Why didn't I see what was going on?
I don't know, love. But the thought's always been there, hasn't it, that he might meet somebody else?
Not somebody like her.
No. Perhaps that's why. You see, you always expected it to be some beautiful, well-to-do girl from his own background, didn't you? Not an ordinary little thing like Carol, right on your doorstep. Is that what hurt?
It didn't help. What did he see in her, Mum? Such a scruff. She wasn't even pretty.
But nothing serious happened.
You mean he didn't actually sleep with her?
No, of course not.
But he wanted to.
Oh, it was much more on her side than his, Glenn.
Oh, he would say that.
No, he didn't have to say it. It was obvious. Oh, I could have slapped her face, of course, but at the same time, even your father couldn't find it in his heart to blame her.
Oh, I see. All the cover-up for months on end, all the lies, all the conspiracy. That wasn't to stop me finding out. That was because you felt sorry for her.
Look, the only reason that your father and I kept quiet about it was to save you from being hurt. And as for Kevin, surely you realise by now how much he loves you.
Love?
Yes, love. I mean, he's been honest with you. He's told you all about it. Surely that proves he wants his marriage to last and make a go of things. So for pity's sake, show him a little bit of sympathy and meet him halfway.
That's easy for you to say. You don't know how much it hurt.
Yes, I do, but it's all in the past. It's finished.
I loved him so much.
Oh, look, love, you must learn to take life easier. You must give him a bit of room to breathe.
I knew I'd lose him one day.
But you didn't, did you? What you were frightened of happened. And he's still here, so what you worried about?
Next time, that's what.
Look, there needn't be a next time if you're sensible. You're his wife, and you come first. He's made that plain enough. So stop crying. You've been through a bad patch, but it's over.
But he went and talked to Trina about it. That what hurts more than anything. He couldn't talk to me.
That was because she was going through the same thing. He just thought it might help by confiding in her. Come on, stop it. Put it right out of your mind.
I can't, Mum. It's spoilt everything. No good, Mum. I'll never feel the same way about him again.